It is your girl Cadillac. Yes, I'm Cadillac Dixon. I'm the Draw My Life prison wife. I'm the legally blind artist that is rapping and painting for justice, hoping to see justice before all fades too bleak. Yes, it's your girl Cadillac. Anyways, guys, I'm coming through today, April the 1st, 2025. Um, the moment I get on this live, interruption after interruption, sending all these notifications. Gosh, can't never just do nothing straight. Um, this whole life is kind of distracting. It's too many distractions to even keep on what you're doing. But anyways, okay. So today I just came through feeling so, but I wanted to continue with the story of my journey back to really to better health. Like literally crazy. Like, it's crazy how you go from one point to when God restores you, you're better than you were way better before. Like crazy. And I know that's what basically, I know that's going to be the outcome for me. Okay, so don't even know what part this is, but today I did have my appointment with the endocrinologist. Y'all know, just to synopsize it, I went to Chicago last December, got the stomach flu, got further dehydrated in the cold, dry air in Chicago, came home. They really think I was in something called ketoacidosis way back then. And only thing that saved me was finding some Gatorade. That's what saved me from that constant like crazy in the bathroom, on the plane, in the airport, like crazy, back and forth with some Gatorade. Got home, drunk some more Gatorade because my dad keep Gatorade on him because he's a construction worker. And I thought I was doing fine, not to know that I just started dropping weight. Um, like 2 months later, found out I was in something called ketoacidosis. They really think I had been in that state for a little while, and my body was basically, to survive, it my body basically was in survival mode, but I couldn't last too much longer in that mode before everything just shut down, and Cadillac was gone from this life, right? Didn't know I was right there at DEATH's door, right there. Now I know that God saved me and preserved me. So right now you're following my health journey, but you've been following my journey of fighting for justice, and my spiritual journey, right? But that means I know that God has something that I am supposed to be doing, so I got to get to doing what He purposed me for on this earth. I tell stories, and the reason I do these stories is because I believe in helping the next person. I am like a plow that goes through situations, crazy situations, um, and it just paves the way for the next person coming through, because with knowledge you can weather a lot of things better. So I don't think I went through ketoacidosis to not tell the next person how to prevent the warning signs and what to look for, because it could be your family member. Maybe it's not you, but a lot of reason that I am still here is because the family members around me making me go to the emergency room, right? So that led to ICU stay. I had a 4-day ICU stay. They parked this Cadillac. This Cadillac ain't never been in park, but was made to be put in park. Upon getting out the hospital, I had some crazy stuff going on trying to figure out being thrown on insulin. Insulin is the only way to treat the ketoacidosis. So I was um, discharged from the hospital on insulin. The next day, I kind of woke up. No, the next day I was frantic because I couldn't figure out how to administer the insulin and all of that stuff. I couldn't even figure out how to check my blood like crazy. So I was frantic. But I believe the day after that, I just woke up depressed. I woke up with the feeling that I failed. Like, how did I let myself get here? I'm on freaking insulin? Like, how? How? And that feeling, thank God I quickly shook that. I didn't dwell there, but I could have. Cause I'm like, how? Like, how do I go from this to this? And then now I'm dependent on this. So it's crazy. It's a whole different lifestyle. A whole different lifestyle. Like I said, my first doctor, it looked like when he seen that A1C 14 off the chart, even that tells you almost at DEATH's door, having that high. Every story anybody's told me has never been 14. They've been at 11, they've been at 10, which is still bad, but 14 off the chart. So it's only God, only Him that has kept me, restored me. So I didn't stay in that mindset, but I kind of, for a minute was there. But then I was like, you know what? I'm not. I'm definitely not finna accept this. I'm not receiving this. Even when they told me, I'm like, I'm not finna take no insult. What? So I can't accept it in my spirit that I'm on insulin. Just like I've never been able to accept in my spirit that my husband is wrongfully incarcerated, that he's not going to be freed. I've always known that he was going to be free, though in life it doesn't line up like that. He's still very much incarcerated, wrongfully, but still very much incarcerated. But my spirit just will not accept that. It doesn't. So I didn't accept being on insulin. I'm like, no, I'm gonna get off of this. Like, we gotta do this like today. So I hit the pavement running. I do long walks after getting off of work. Already work is really draining to me with my body being weaker, my muscles being weaker, because the ketoacidosis takes a toll on your muscles. Um, but walk. Yesterday I got some weights last week, and then this week I started with my 2 pound weights. Yes, only 2 pounds, but I was doing the martial art punches. I was doing them uppercuts. I was doing them backhands. I was doing it. Um, and I would walk around the block with the weights or whatever. My portions. I got my food. I gotta show y'all my food. Matter of fact, go over to my community page. I'm gonna upload them, and you will see my food on my plate. Doing much better, much better with choosing foods and with the presentation. I'm having fun like setting my food up like art, because y'all know your girl love art. And I just every meal is like, oh, this is something I'm creating, to like staging a masterpiece. And you enjoy eating when your food just looks right on the plate. Like, that's why presentation in a restaurant is so like, because I work at a sandwich shop and we don't just slap them sandwiches on the tray like that. No, baby. If the bread even falls over, we take it back for the cook to prop it back up properly, because the presentation is what actually makes you enjoy. It's a part of the aspect. Of course, the taste and all of that, and savoring and enjoying your food. But the presentation makes a big difference. And I'm seeing that. I'm having fun with that, girl. And I already knew. Y'all know I told you I was not the cook, I'm the artist. But I always knew the moment I wanted to start cooking, your girl gonna go from, to top chef. Because that's how I do. I could start something with no knowledge, just like I became the legal eagle, knowing a whole bunch about the law. I became a graphic designer. When I started graphic design school, I was so far behind the learning curve. I did not even know how to use the computer. I definitely didn't know a Mac, because the Mac is set up opposite than a regular computer, a Windows computer. Girl, I had the furthest learning curve. But guess what? I finished. So I got that same furthest learning curve when it comes to cooking, nutrition, and health overall. Like, not just, I've always been active, but actually taking care of your health and watching and monitoring your health. Like, even when I had the issues with blood pressure, high blood pressure, I wasn't monitoring it like that. You know what I'm saying? I would just take the high blood pressure pill in the morning and then I'm good. That was as far as I took actually watching it, right? But now watching it, blood pressure's going down. Sugars came right on down. So this is day what, 17 out of the hospital, and my sugar numbers are looking like awesome. Like awesome for real. So I have not went into the red. When you check your little glucose or whatever, check your sugar. I've not been in the red and it's been weeks. It is also times that I already was having good blood sugar, that I was skipping my fast acting. Now, I didn't know if I should be doing that, but I got a bunch of common sense and I'm very intuitive. And I'm like, if it's already this low, I don't think I should take no more, because I had the issue where it was already like regular and I took the insulin and I ate, but when I started working, my sugar dropped even further. So when you're moving around, your sugars are coming down usually. So I noticed that day I was spending the time trying to keep it up. Like, it shouldn't be that much work. Like, I've never had to keep my sugar up, but now I have to. They always disrupt me. I swear I can't do one thing without an interruption. It just sounds so horrible through my thing. Oh, oh, I hate that ringing. And it be so loud. Like, it's louder than you're even talking. I hate that ringing. Oh, so aggravating. And I always lose my. I mean, the moment I go to record, they need to call me. They literally need to get in touch with me. Like, it's crazy. It's like, it's from the enemy, because anytime he see you trying to do something, he gotta send those distractors. Remember, I had started this video off talking about distractions, all the distractions in this life, and that's what it's really about, to keep us off of our purposes and our goals, and keep us sidetracked. Think about other stuff to where we can't do what we need to be doing, right? So I don't know where I left off because I was distracted. But I was doing better. And getting out the hospital, my numbers started to. Oh yeah, I said I was having issues with keeping it up, and I'm like, that doesn't. Why would you basically take the insulin, but then have to eat to keep the sugar up to a certain level? That means, my logic. I'm not needing all this insulin, which. When I went to the endocrinologist today, is exactly what she said. So I came in already. um I woke up horrible, 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 horrible. I really found out yesterday that my sister, my nephew, my daughter, I did my granddaughter, they had the stomach flu. Do you know this is what put me in this situation, catching the stomach flu in Chicago and then getting dehydrated? I'm like, literally. So when my daughter ended up getting it, because I didn't know they all had it, when she ended up getting it, I'm like, well, I just caught it, so maybe I can't catch it again because your body builds up that immunity. So I'm like, oh, Lord, please don't let me catch the stomach flu because I don't want to be right back where I just came from. So I woke up and my stomach, the moment I moved, it was just like when I was in Chicago. I was fine until I moved, and it's like your stomach do a rumble, and then ugh. The first second that I felt that rumbling and blah, I said, oh, I got up. I went and got me some Pepto Bismol. And when I was in Chicago, that whole first day, I hovered over the, blah, 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 hovered over the toilet, right? But the moment my aunt gave me Pepto Bismol, it stopped that, right? So I immediately went and got me some Pepto Bismol. I am like, I am not going to get dehydrated. I got that and some zero sugar Gatorade, right? Then I also went out with my little face mask. I wasn't trying to and keep my distance. I'm not trying to, harm nobody else. Like, girl, this is not what you want. You don't want no, oh, especially if it's gonna end you up in the ICU like it did your girl. So I got up. My job, I was really supposed to work today, but they were like, because I had just came from my appointment yesterday, and they was like, we're going to try to like do all we can to get you seen as soon as possible by the endocrinologist, just so we can get you back on track. And they're trying to make sure that I'm, as close back to normal as I can be, right? That this is just the alarm that we think it is. It was just not an alarm, that it was just something that happened, but now it's subsiding. Not that it's left me in a certain state and now I'm still bad off. So they're trying to quickly find out, was this something that just triggered it and now you're back to yourself, or did it trigger it and now something completely is off. You know what I'm saying? So they were able to, I called as soon as I left my appointment yesterday. I had a little physical. As soon as I left the appointment, I called and they said we have an appointment for tomorrow at 2:30, which I would be at work, or we have April the 23rd. And I'm like, we don't want to wait till April 23rd. We need to find this out now. So that's a big leap in between. So I was like, you know what? Give me the April the 1st at 2:30, and I'm gonna ask my job, can I go to my appointment and come back? So that's what I did. They didn't answer, and then they answered at the last minute. They answered this morning, and they was like, how about you just close tomorrow? And I mean, close tonight. Go to your appointment, close tonight. And but the problem was I worked in the morning. that would have been very difficult for me. But if it means me going to the endocrinologist, then I'm gonna do it. I can pull through. I mean, it's a suffering, but I can suffer for a moment just to get what I need to do, right? So that was what I was gonna do. But I wasn't feeling good. I woke up, blah, and then my body was like aching. And I know yesterday I was working out with them weights, so I didn't know if it was the weights or just being sick. I'm like, I know this is not happening. I have to go to this appointment, and I also have to go to work. So I immediately took me some little Tylenol for the aching. Got my Pepto Bismol, got my zero sugar, and by this time, when I got ready, I let my sister get dressed. As caregiver to her, let her get dressed, and then I was out the door. I checked my sugar at 12:30, and it was 106. I hadn't taken no insulin. It was already, a good sugar number. So I'm like, I'm not gonna take insulin and bring it down. And that's when my cousin was like, "Oh wow, so it seems like you may not really need the insulin like that if you get them numbers without." But I was like, "But I'm sick, so I'm not really eating." So he's like, "You gotta eat so you can see how your body does. Um, if it spikes up, then yeah, you need the insulin. If it don't spike up, then you may not need it." I forced myself to eat breakfast, but because I took the Pepto Bismol, it didn't come up. But it sat weird in my stomach. It didn't feel right in my stomach. I went to the appointment, and I was nervous about the paperwork because when you go to a new doctor, they want a million pages of paperwork. They tell you to show up early. Of course, I'm already sick. Then I had to make sure I had a bill due today, so I gotta go deposit the money for that. Then I didn't have no gas in my car. Like it's a million and one things to keep up with. I gotta get way across town, so I had to stop at the bank, get gas, and still get my to this appointment early. With like they said, come early so you could do your paperwork. I have carpal tunnel, so it takes me a million years to fill out this darn paperwork. It's hard holding that little clipboard, and ugh. So I was dreading that. My cousin tried to get somebody to go with me, but we couldn't find nobody to go with me to do the paperwork with me for me, like help me write it out. So I end up only getting there 10 minutes early. So they give me the paperwork, and it's this big packet. I'm like, oh God. Because he was like, just tell him you legally blind and you can't see that stuff, and they going to have to fill it out for you, and you just tell them. So I was like, yeah, if it's like that, I'm going to have to, because I mean, besides being legally blind, I got the carpal tunnel. I definitely can't do it. But it wasn't so bad. It wasn't too much to where I could not do it. Um, had to pay the little copay. Oh my goodness, this medicine, these doctors, even with just the copay, is like draining my little pockets. My pockets were already thin, but now I'm like, oh my gosh, they're they're beyond thin now. But I have to remind myself that God has been taking care of me. Um, and I cannot worry about that's looking too far into the future. As long as I'm okay now, I got a dime to eat now. I got a place to stay tonight. I can't worry about that because tomorrow will have its own worries, right? But it is kind of hurting my pocket like that. I don't know. But another reason I got to get off this medicine. I'm not really going to be able to afford this. Like, girl. So they called me back. The nurse was really nice. She took me in the bag, all the stuff that they do to establish you as a patient. They ask you all your background, your parents' background, They ask you about all the stuff you already have and your surgeries and things like that. So she did all that preliminary stuff. And then I went back out to the little waiting area. And then I came. So I was with the nurse for about 30 minutes. And then I was with the endocrinologist for about 30 minutes. So she went over the medicines that I have. And then she was like, because I'm taking the long acting insulin and the short acting. And she was like, they have you checking too many times. You really only need to check like twice a day because they had me checking before and after each meal and before bedtime, which is like 7 times a day. So I was like, ooh, because most people say they only check twice. Why am I checking every, it's like I'm obsessing about this stuff. Then she talked about getting me one of the monitors where you could just, it'll give you your number without pricking. Like I don't have to keep pricking. Then she said, you take your long acting, but you're not really going to need to take the short acting unless you're eating starchy food. But even when I ate some starchy food, my sugar still didn't go up. It went up, it didn't go in the red, but it went back down after the food was processed. So, me skipping the short acting when my sugars are low actually was intuitively the right thing to do. You see how the Holy Spirit leads you and you don't even know what you're doing. Girl, I definitely didn't know what I was doing, but I still was doing the right thing, not knowing that. So if I'm needing less of the short acting, that's the first step. So she already walked me down off of needing so much of that. And it's only if I'm having a starchy meal. If I'm not having a starchy meal, I don't need the short acting. And then we're going to then further because they were saying the goal is to get you off of the insulin. And I'm glad that's her goal because sometimes it feels like they want you on medicines because, just like I'm the OG prison wife, they want you in prison because, yeah, so definitely don't want to be, you know. So, and then another thing, they have ordered more blood work. So this one is to see how effective my pancreas is with doing the insulin. Like, was that freak accident, and now my body's back regulated and we're good? Glory be to God. Or, and then the second was to establish to make sure I was type 2 diabetic and not type 1. They're saying they really think it's that small of a thing that I would be type 1, but they just have to be able to eliminate that. They really don't think I would be type 1. The difference, type 1, I would have to stay on insulin for the rest of my life. If I'm doing good, like literally, if I was type 1 to be, my intuitiveness, I wouldn't have been able to go today without taking it, right? So I'm going to go home. I'm going to check my sugars. Oh yeah, so with the stomach flu, that scared me because I was like, that got me dehydrated in this position in the first place. So I got some ginger ale, sugar-free ginger ale. Um, I ate breakfast, but it was only because I wanted to see how it affected my body, but I didn't want to eat it. My stomach don't feel like eating. So later I ate a snack. I ate my peanut butter crackers. And I drank some ginger ale. I was able to hold that down. And now I got a soup that I'm gonna try to eat. And that's it. I really don't want to do no heavy eating because my stomach still feels kind of blah. I was told, well, from my research, rest is going to get you past it. So I need healing from this stomach virus because I do not want to end up back dehydrated. Your girl ain't got too much more weight I could be losing. If you only seen, like, I got to get them pictures together. I can't be losing too much more weight, right? And then I got to put the weight back on in the right way. So getting back dehydrated is going to take me back. It's going to set me back. So I definitely can't do that. So I got to get past this. Oh, and then my job, they was like, you know what? You could just take the day off. It's been slow. And I'm like, oh, thank God. Because I really couldn't call in because I already lost points going to the hospital. It's just been one thing after the other. So I couldn't call in. But when they gave me the day off, thank God. Yes. So I'm going to come and rest. The stomach virus really just lasts like what, 24 hours, 24 48 hours. I should be fine. We almost at 24 hours, so hopefully it's past, girl. And then we can get back to life and living. um all glory be to God. All right, guys, thank you for rolling with your girl. It's your girl Cadillac.